Hello, welcome to another episode of Move It or Lose It. So today you've seen them before. I'm sure if you're in the MS community, you see these two beautiful women all the time. So it is another interview I get to do with Twins Coast to Coast as we talk about some of the holiday stuff, some of the tricks, tips, and some of the struggles, but we're going to enjoy this one. So I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I will. So with no further ado, welcome Twins Coast to Coast to my podcast. Hey, I've got Terry and Tamara. You are so welcome. It is so good to have you guys before the holidays. So I'm going to do a quick, I'm going to stop for a second and have Steven do this. You're freezing.
That's what I think too. Should we change the phone? I think maybe did you fix the phone? You know, we may swap phones real quick. Mine's a newer phone, so.
Okay.
Oh, we both have the same model. Okay.
So what I'll do is I won't restart it. I'll just let Steven know when we begin.
Yes. On it that says something. The meeting is being recorded. Sorry. The meeting is being recorded.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we'll try on my phone then. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, you
All right.
guys.
Let's
Okay.
try this. All right, so hopefully this works, and if not, Anna's gonna reset the Wi-Fi, but I think we can get through. You know, the weather here today is super cloudy.
Oh,
Down like a hill, and I'm on
okay.
the lower part of the hill. All right, so
Okay,
do this. How are we sitting now?
good. I can see you both now. You both look good.
And we both look good. And then
Yeah.
I know my camera's kind of a little bit at an angle. Do
Yeah.
we look like we're sitting straight?
Straighten it just a little bit as she can.
Straight. All right, so we need to be a little more straight.
I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it looks, can you guys see yourselves?
I can't see us
Okay.
too far away, no glasses.
But what is her name again? I'm sorry. That's helping you. Hi. So what do you think when you look? Do they look straight to you? They look good?
For me, it looks great.
Yeah.
Just off around the back.
Okay, then let's go ahead and do it. So I've already introduced you guys. So now we're gonna start. So Steven, we're starting again. So I've already done the opening. So we'll start from here. So hello, I'm so happy that you guys are on. I'm so happy to be able to talk about the holidays. And we're going to talk about some of the tricks, some of the things with our autoimmune disease and how it can be sometimes tricky when we're going away. And so first I want to ask you ladies, how has the first year of podcasting gone?
It has been amazing. We have had so much fun interviewing so many lovely people, from doctors to like somebody like yourself.
Which I loved doing that with you guys.
it's been a lot of fun. So it's been successful.
Yes.
What do you think, Tamara?
I do. We have 15 episodes on our episodes pet podcast, and it's been going very good.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can find them on anywhere you find your podcast, everybody.
And honestly, I've had great feedback from you guys and people just really enjoying your podcast. And you guys know, you have to know, I mean, you are two of the sweetest women that I've ever met. It's so inspirational. And I don't know if you were just born like this with a heart to just give out, whether it's, I mean, I'm telling you, listeners, if I have any MS question or any help that I need or someone I need to get a hold of, these two ladies have so much information and are so incredibly helpful. So is this a given from your parents? Where did this come from?
Thank you, Kathy. It's so sweet of you to say that about us.
I think it's just a God-given gift that he
Yeah.
gave us from the get-go, because we have just always had in our heart to be giving and loving and really nurturing to others.
Yeah.
We really have been. I don't know if it's because we're twins and we always had to give to one another and just
Sure.
and share. That's right. So I think the two of us always, when we look into each other's eyes, we just have a very loving soul for each other. So
Yeah.
we're able to pass that on to others, which we love to do.
And we're always willing to share our information.
Yes.
Because we're used to us twins sharing. So
Yeah.
it's a very easy thing for us to also share our knowledge with other people.
I love that. And I have to say, one of the things I appreciate about you guys the most, one of the several things, but because you know so many, you've been advocating, you've been a part of the MS Society and all of there's so many people that you know. And I have to say, for my own self in the podcasting world, it could be sometimes a little bit difficult when you ask someone for help, as far as, I really would love to interview this guest. Could you let me know a little bit about this? And you get everything from some just not wanting to be a part of helping you. And then I love it when there's collaboration and there's a heart to really like, yes, this was a great interview. And I think what is so beautiful is that not only have you helped me with that, and I'm sure several others, if I needed a number or I needed an idea, a doctor of a specific area I want to interview, but the fact that that both of you really understand the power of what we do is advocating and sharing awareness. And
Right.
you're going to reach different people. I'm going to reach different people, and understanding that. And I think what's so lovely is the two of you don't have this, this way about you that is, catty or, like, I have to be the best. We have to be the best. It's
Right.
more about loving and about spreading awareness, which I think you guys have done an amazing job this year.
Oh, Kathy, thank you so much. And you know, that's what our goal is. If we can just touch one person, if it's through you or if it's through another person, you know,
Right.
so happy to share that
Right.
information.
We don't keep things tight. If somebody asks us a question, like you said, and we can help them, that's why we're doing what we do.
Right.
That's why we have our podcast. That's why we have our Instagram. We want
Yes.
people to reach out, and information is there, and we don't hide the information. If we don't know, we'll let you know we don't know, but we'll
Very
try to
true.
find out, right?
And there's so many things that I've found, I'm sure you guys have too, that I had a client ask yesterday. You know, she was sick, like this crazy flu stuff is going around. And, you know, so many of our newer diagnosed patients don't know even what a pseudo relapse is. You know, there's so many things that, you know, some of us that have like, woohoo, had it for so long, we are at least able to kind of settle those who by our podcast or when they know our faces, and they can, you know, message us, and we can share that, you know, yes, when there's trauma to our body, there's a such thing as a pseudo relapse. And so whatever things that you've already had may come back and just kind of let you know it's still there. And unless, you know, there's something new or possibly goes on for more than 10 days, then that's something to worry about. But in the beginning, knowing that our bodies are going to act up because that's what we have, right? So it's how our bodies respond.
Absolutely. I mean, you definitely are here to give, and you are so good at doing that as well. I mean, every day that you're with a client, doesn't it feel good to be
Oh,
able
yeah.
to them feel good after a workout or a
Yeah.
stretch, or like you said, teaching them about an ongoing event that they may not know about their bodies.
For sure.
And so that is fabulous, and that's what we're
Wow.
here for.
Thank you both. So now I want to know about, you guys have had quite a year, some health issues and stuff like that, but how are you feeling now?
So, this is Terry.
Yes.
Last year, I started off the year in February with a really bad urinary tract infection.
Mhm.
And we thought we had it under control, but it just kind of got out of control and I became septic. The good news is I went to the hospital, had great care, and I was ready and back to go in March. So
Yeah.
it was a little week and all. And then this September 1st, I developed shingles. And
Yes.
so everybody out there, if you're over 50, go get your shingles shot, or at least talk to a medical professional about that. And then I had this crazy thing, started to feel better in October, and I had what was called trigeminal neuralgia,
Right.
which is at the top of it's the largest nerve that controls your face. So it starts at the top of your nerve and then it branches all over, mainly in the front, your ears, your eyes, and your forehead. And boy, oh boy, on the left-hand side where my shingles were, it was like lightning striking for 5 minutes. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through.
It is so painful, Terry. That is it. Now, would you say, now I have even gotten the shingles, I've had shingles, but I would say even under 50, because I mean, I had it when I was, gosh, I want to say the first time in my 30s, and I still have the phantom itching and pain all of a sudden if I'm under a lot of stress. So I think that's something that's really important to share, that a lot of our MSers don't know, is that once you've had it, you're susceptible to getting it again more. And those phantom pains where that it started here and then went all the way down my side and my shoulders and up my neck, that all of a sudden I'll start scratching like they're back. And I'll feel that pain. And I'm like, these are just phantom pains from having it.
It is just, it's shingles is really, really bad. I did have shingles almost 4 years to the date on my back, but because I don't feel from the neurological damage, it was not a big deal. But having a face or like your arm, it's just, you just can't ignore it. And
well, yes,
I don't have phantom pain yet. I'm still recovering and using all the medicines for the itchy feeling, the neuropathic pain feeling. But
yes,
there, look at me now. We're in December and I'm back. I'm healthy.
you guys look wonderful. You look beautiful and both look healthy, like you're ready to go. So that brings me, so Tamara, how about you? You seem to be pretty.
I've actually had a much better year physically, haven't had all the complications from illnesses as Terry. I wanted to say to people, do go get your shingles shot as soon as you experience the shingles for the second time. I went to the pharmacist and was able to get my first dose. They tell you the first dose isn't too bad. People get nervous about their immunizations and vaccines, and I would say it was easy. I had no side effects.
Good.
Although I was suggested to have it my second booster to the 6 months, and that's when people say after they get their second shingles vaccine, you're a little under the weather, but I can tell
Okay,
you, after watching Terry go through her experience, a little aches, some pains for a few days.
right,
What happens when you have
Yeah.
shingles?
yes. And the flu shot, for goodness sakes. So many are afraid to get that. And I keep telling them, get your flu shot.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And also speak to your doctor. If you're on a medication like Ocrevus, as you know, you've got to wait a certain amount of time. So make sure you get that information about when you're okay and safe. Like I just had mine. So I have to wait a couple weeks and then I'll go in and get the rest of my shots. But really, again, advocate for yourself, educate yourself, find out when you're safe to get it. But for goodness sakes, get your flu shot, your shingles shot.
yes, especially this year.
Yes, with all of it going around.
And absolutely. So best suggestions, but no, being ill is not fun, especially having
No,
immune disease. And my body really, really took a toll. So I'm
Yeah.
getting my strength back, but my mental health is all together. So
good.
go get this too.
You sound great. Now tell me, like, Tamara, how was that for you? The two of you are so close, being so far away and not being able to be with your sister during that time.
It was challenging. I felt sad for Terry. There was a little bit of frustration that I couldn't come out and help Terry.
Sure.
Yeah.
We did do a lot of FaceTime
Yes.
and we talked on the phone, and that was our way of supporting one another. But definitely was a challenging time.
It was
I
scary
bet.
for both of us because
Yeah.
when I can just see Tamara's face, I calm down. So I started getting anxious in the hospital because I didn't have anybody holding my phone or helping me at times. And I would see Tamara calling, and I just couldn't do my phone and all.
Right.
There's a lot of frustration there, but we do calm each other down, and just to hear each other's voice, even on a daily basis, is very special, and we're very fortunate.
Sure. I mean, I think, I don't have a sister, I have a brother. And I think that, now, not being able to get a hold of my best friend or something like that during this would just be so difficult. So I'm so glad that you guys have gotten through this and that you're stronger. So talk to me about what does your holiday plans, your Christmas, what are you guys doing for the holidays?
We have a wonderful holiday plan. In fact, I just traveled from California with my entire family to see Terry and her entire family in Atlanta. And why are we celebrating a little early? We planned it so we would not be involved with all the Christmas crowds on the planes and the
Yes.
airport. And that was one of our strategies. Plan things out and try to do things smart. So
Yes.
one of the things we did for the holidays, so we're celebrating early.
Yes.
Group, before everybody gets
Everything gets great. That's such great advice too for so many of our MSers that are nervous to fly and are thinking, I don't know if I could do this in the holiday, but to celebrate, get creative, celebrate it a little bit early. So you're not flying with a giant crowd of people. And it's okay. I've even said, there were some big holiday parties that I had to miss. And normally I would have gone, it would have been great, but you really have to think about, is this worth it? I want to see all these people, but is it worth it going into, a restaurant where there's going to be 100 to 200 people and, our health and depending on the DMT that we're on or where we're at, we really need to focus on, is this worth it to get sick again? Heaven forbid, COVID or a flu, and then bring that into the holidays. So I think it's really why, but it is tricky, to figure out, there's people you want to see, but really asking questions, I think, and finding out how big the crowd's going to be, how many people are going to be there and things like that, so that we're aware, and then we can make a smart decision based on that.
It's so true. That is the best advice, listeners. listen to Kathy, because seriously, giving up a party or two is not the end of the world.
Right.
You'll be able to call these folks or visit with them.
Yes.
But you have a lower immune system because of the medications you're taking.
Right.
It's wise. It just really is. So wear a mask if you want to go to a party, go celebrate, but remember to put a mask on. Just
Yes. Absolutely. And I know, you know what's I found funny, guys, and I wonder what you think of this. I talked to Jen about this last night, is, you know, we're always masked, right? So we're going places masked, and all of a sudden, once everything lifted and no one was masked, all of a sudden, apparently their hearing went, because I would try to talk with the mask and they'd say, I can't understand you. And I'm like, but now if you notice, people are masking up again because they're worried. Now, all of a sudden their hearing's back. They can hear again.
It's like, really, you know, over the summer, could we have not? But
Kathy, I do have to say, it was very interesting traveling from San Francisco in the airport to Atlanta. I was really looking around to see how many people were wearing the mask.
Yes.
And how many people weren't. And I would say we only had about 25% of the people masked up.
Really?
75% of people felt comfortable walking around the airport. When boarding the airplane, I know the flight attendants, not one, had a mask on.
interesting.
Okay.
And I was surprised at that because they come in contact with so many people on each flight.
Wow.
But I had my N95 mask on.
Yes.
And it is uncomfortable. It's much easier to not wear a mask, but for safety
Sure.
and out of respect to others, I wore my mask. So I would still say going into the holidays of 2022,
Right.
COVID is still out there.
Right.
And flu, we have not been exposed, many of us, for 2 years out in public. So we're
Sure.
all susceptible to the flu. And with an autoimmune disease, we have the respiratory conditions.
Absolutely.
With a flu or a cold. So wear your mask.
Yes, and the ones that travel, their family members, they also wore masks through the airport, on the airplane, just so they could protect us.
Yes.
So,
Very key. Very important that our families understand that, and that we can't just go in and when they get off the plane and they haven't worn a mask, we don't want to have to separate from them, right? We're excited to see them. So that's what I've asked. Please mask up so that when you get here, I can give you a big hug and kiss, and I can't if you've not been masked up. So I think people understanding how important it is. And again, that's what we do, this is why we do what we do, right? To educate, so that, because there's so many that really don't understand why we have to be masked up. And I would say for the ones, and you guys know, sometimes I'm able to hide that I even have MS in many ways. You know, sometimes I'll have to use my trekking poles, but a lot of times I'm fine just to walk so people won't know why I'm masked up.
Right.
And I would say, you know, there has been an issue this last year since people have been unmasked with kind of almost an attitude, you know, that you're masked. And I think, you know, just trying to think more about our health and about ourselves. And I think of that as self-care rather than what someone may think at a restaurant or a cashier. That doesn't matter. And we need to get past that of what people may think, because we have to care more about us.
Kathy, you're so right. It's taking care of others, and
Yes.
others, they choose not to wear a mask and get sick. That's their choice. But
Exactly.
Masked up. That was
So
great.
we're smart.
Yes. So
Yes.
now, how was Tamara, when you flew, how was everything with the wheelchair stuff? Was it great, or did you have any?
It takes, I would like to tell everybody out there who uses any type of mobility device, whether it's a wheelchair, a scooter, a walker, a cane, if you need assistance, the TSA has a fabulous disability line. So you
Yes.
can prepare early, not the day of your flight, but a couple of weeks before your flight.
Yes.
I call the TSA 800 number for the
Uh-huh.
disability line and set up everything through security to let them know that I was coming through, and they were prepared. When I arrived at security, they had a female person to pat me down, and it went smoothly. I didn't have to wait 10-20 minutes for somebody to become available.
Right.
They knew I was coming
Sure.
at a certain time and I was there. And so I would say, anybody, TSA does a fabulous job when you're traveling on the airplane. Also, the airlines, contact your airlines.
Yes.
Very good about placing you in a seat that is comfortable, closer up in the airplane so you're not walking too far. For me,
Right.
I had to use this year, for the last 2 flights I've used this year, I have needed assistance with a onboard wheelchair. The
Okay.
skinny aisle chairs that go up and down the aisle,
Oh,
because my electric wheelchair that I have is too wide
gotcha. Of
go on
course.
plane. So you ask your airlines, and and that actually happens with the TSA.
Okay.
Part of the airport, they arrange for that aircraft to have the wheelchair on board, and it's
Very
wonderful.
interesting. Yeah, I did not know that.
And once you have everything lined up, Kathy, it was so easy.
That's so good. Now, have you
Uh,
guys found one airline to be better than I have flown Delta a couple times and I found them to be fabulous. Have you guys found an airline that you feel safer with?
No, I think they have all been exceptional. I've flown United, Delta, Southwest, all
Yes,
companies have been fabulous.
Right.
good.
Planes, I really do think
Yeah,
they
I-
take good care of their
I really
passengers.
think over the years, they just improved. Because
Yes.
there are people who need help at all ages with all types of disabilities.
Right.
And we're aware of it.
Yes,
And if you forget to call the TSA line, make sure you call your air carrier's number.
Yes.
Because they'll put it in the note of your ticket, and they will make sure they have that wheelchair or whatever you need ready for you
yes.
to be assisted onto the air.
That's such great advice, Terry and Tamara, too, because I think oftentimes as we're getting ready to fly out, we forget. And so sometimes calling the day of is not good. We need to make sure that we've got that on our calendar, that we take care of this weeks before we travel so that we're set, and how much anxiety that takes off us, knowing
Right.
that that is set and we're ready to go. And then we've got TSA and they're helping us. And that's such a relief and such a big, it makes it so it's not so terrifying, when you are in between, like I've shared with you, I'm at that in between stage. So sometimes I feel like I can go, other times I feel like no, especially after the flight, when I'm getting off, going to meet, my best friend or family.
Right.
I notice the equilibrium, whatever, the flight in general kind of messes with us. And so having that, the wheelchair and that assistance right when you come off the plane is so important. And
Yes, and if you forget to call, it's so interesting, even early on when I was able to walk off the plane, but later I needed assistance just getting wheeled up the ramp. The
Sure.
flight attendants are more than happy to call once we land, or even sometimes ahead of time, and they will make sure that a wheelchair is there for you.
yes.
And they have
And
to
you guys know, I had that one bad experience, and honestly, I have no problem saying American, because once, it was a gentleman that was supposed to have my wheelchair right when I got off the plane, and there wasn't one. And the guy at the ticket kind of said, well, you better go fast because you're going to miss the flight. And I was stunned, thinking like, what did you just say? And I don't think I can, walk that far with my lug and then go on the trans. And then I don't think I can do this. But what I really loved, guys, is that we called American and they took care of it immediately. So
Right.
they were very, they were disappointed in how it was handled, but they didn't take it lightly. And I think sometimes we get worried that, maybe we shouldn't, we'll just be quiet about it. No, advocate for yourself.
That's right.
Absolutely. Kathy, I remember once I was flying on the Southwest aircraft and we had to change planes. One of the flight attendants said to me, I was the last one on the flight, and she's like, up, stand up. We have to go the plane, we got to be on time. And she obviously was a flight attendant who wasn't part of my section. She was aware that I needed an assistant wheelchair to be put on board. But you just have to advocate, smile, and say, oh, I'm sitting here and waiting for a certain thing. Just
Exactly.
what's happening.
That's great advice. So now from here, what do you guys have planned for the holidays?
So tomorrow we are going to the beautiful Atlanta Botanical Gardens.
Oh,
Very easy.
I may have to fly today and get there so I can do that.
Yeah. But they
You know,
have
I
some-
want to do that. Once you guys are together, and again, I want to get to Atlanta and I want to come see you both.
Absolutely, we will plan that for sure.
Yes.
But the Atlanta Botanical Gardens has some beautiful holiday lights.
Oh,
Here more than ever, they have made it just beautiful with canopy after canopy of lights.
oh, beautiful.
Tomorrow, we'll send lots of pictures. We're going tomorrow night. So we'll put
Yes.
some stories. But
Good.
we're excited about that. And we're just kind of celebrating with friends. We visited friends.
That's
and
right.
Oh, good.
so
Friends and family.
that's right.
Now, who's doing the cooking for Christmas?
All of
all of our
children.
children.
Oh, that's
Very nice.
beautiful.
Over the years, we love to cook. We
Yes.
love to cook. These days, our children, we have children in their 20s.
Yes.
Yes.
Even over. So it's so
They have.
delightful.
So they have taken over family recipes.
Yeah. Isn't
They
that fun when they do that? And my stepdaughter is, and my youngest son is a great cook. And so this year he's going to follow me. And, because, when we've cooked forever, they're like, how much? I'm like, a smidge, a pinch.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I'm like, why don't you just come with me, just cook with me and write it down so that you've got it. And so it is so fun to pass on the stuff that we've made for years and to watch them kind of take the torch and then start. And I've been so proud of my stepdaughter and my son, how they've really taken that over and are cooking and are just, just doing those things that come natural, and that it's really neat to see. I'm so glad that you're all doing it, but the kids are helping and cooking, and what a beautiful holiday it's going to be.
It's so wonderful. And to celebrate early, it's just a number, right? We're celebrating early, but it feels like Christmas. Our Christmas trees are up. The themed wrapping paper tradition has so their colors of what we do every year.
Good.
So I would say the highlight is the Atlanta Botanical Gardens and
Oh,
seeing
nice.
lights. And Tamara, what's your favorite thing about our holiday together?
Yes, I would say for me, living in California,
Uh-huh.
I have so many friends that live in Atlanta.
Yes.
So not only the highlight, of course, is to visit and be with our family,
Sure.
seeing so many friends that we know.
Oh, and that feels so good, doesn't it, Tamara, to see
does,
friends?
Just lifts your spirits. And I have to say, a lot of people, some people we've stayed very close, and every year I see them. We saw a couple last night. We haven't seen in 20 years.
Wow.
So it was they were wonderful, and it was great. And they knew I was in a wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
They were so supportive. And last time they saw me, I was walking and pulling up my chair. And
I mean, it's just fabulous to be able to be comfortable with somebody that you and all that time. Although, there have been phone calls here and there, but it's just nice. You pick up right where you left off.
Yes.
And it's such a joy. So
I love that.
yeah. So friends are very important. It's not
Very.
that all the things you do, we can sit in a room and be happy for all day.
Yes. Oh, for sure. And we talked a lot. I just did a holiday fun night with some of our MSers. And we talked about that it is so interesting how we become so close and we become families. And there are the people that, yes, you know, social media, but I'd love to even take time to really sit down and notice the beauty of it. You know, we know all the scary things on social media and this stuff that isn't the best, but to really understand the ability that we've had to make really true friendships through this. And, you know,
Well,
people
look
like
at
you
us.
guys. Yes. I mean, I feel that I could call anytime and that you guys would be there. And I hope that you guys feel the same. And that's what we talked about, is what a beautiful thing to make these friendships with others who know what we're going through. And yet it's nothing that isn't real. It's such a real, even though it's, you know, calling and stuff, but I know I look forward to the places to visit. And also knowing that you've got these really deep, true friendships that, you know, you could call up and really understand what you're going through.
I mean, it's so special. I mean, our relationship, I feel like we've known each other for 20 years, right?
Yes, exactly. I think that's the neatest thing is if I have a question, I'm just like, Tamara. And I love that I can just ask you guys those questions. And there is that true deep friendship that I just like today, we decided to do the podcast early and it was like, let's do it. You know, there's that close enough friendship that I know if I couldn't, I would be able to say that. And if I can, then let's go for it. Let's do it.
Absolutely. It's so much fun. And now that the doggies, I have a family member, and the oldest girl, my 14-year-old, is the one that barks at anything that goes by. Oh, my word, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No, mine. Well, we know what mine did. She had a little accident. So she's quiet now because she's embarrassed. So, but
sorry, Mom.
Yes, exactly. So tell me now about some of the things that you're looking forward to in this next year. What are some of the fun things that you guys have planned?
Kathy, we are so excited to announce that we are now a nonprofit. Twins Coast to Coast.
Good.
Not only are we doing our podcast, but we are also raising money for events for 2 different societies. One, Nancy Davis Center Without Walls Research. I'm very excited about this year. I'm going to, we just did a wine event with her, and we'll do an event to raise money for MS. Another exciting thing that I'm looking forward to next year, I am going to jump out of an airplane.
What?
Do a dive. I'm like, is that now when? I've always wanted to do it.
So have I, Tamara. That is so cool. That was I wanted to do it on my birthday and I couldn't. I'm like, that is still I want to jump out of a plane.
I think this is the year I'm going to do it, and I would love to see you do it.
Yes.
Already planned out. It's going to be on the Monterey Peninsula.
Okay.
California, by Carmel, California. Take the airplane over the bay, over the water.
Oh, beautiful.
Jump out and you see the whole peninsula, all the beach line, and
wow.
Can't wait. And
I can't wait to hear about it.
And my feet will be firmly on the ground.
I was gonna say.
But I'll be cheering camera on, and I will be fundraising for to be jumping out of the airplane.
That's an exciting event for us this year.
I love that. I really do. I think that's so exciting. Wow, I'm excited for you.
And then I will be continuing on with the National MS Society Georgia chapter. I am so excited that I've been elected to be board champion for this year.
That's awesome. You are perfect for that.
Oh, thank you so much. It was an honor to be asked. So I'll be doing this for the next year. And then I will be also continuing on with the Atlanta Neuroscience Foundation formerly known as the MS Center of Atlanta. And I will be participating with the leadership program, and I will just be supporting all the folks that will be taking the class. And that's really exciting.
I love that. So when you say taking a class, is that going to be for different neurologists, or how does that
No, I
work?
will not be taking the class. I'm on the committee.
Okay.
So what needs to be on the committee is to support the folks that are actually taking the class.
Right. So what does it mean to take the class? What do you have to, what are the, how does that work?
The class is open to anybody.
Okay.
Who's interested to hear about leadership. We will have local people from Georgia, neurologists, leaders in business, and they can go on, and I'm welcome to share. It's going to be on my website, but I will connect anybody who wants to know. Just send us an email at coast-to-coast@gmail.com.
Yes.
And I'm involved, but it's for anybody. It's not going to be, we won't have on a web of any kind.
Okay.
But we'll be able to, it's in person, and it's from January and it will end in early May.
Yes.
So it's going to be great education of people that will teach you again all about leadership with multiple sclerosis, etc. And that's with the Atlanta Neuroscience Foundation. I will also be working with NSAA, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
It'll be the first fundraiser for the, it's a fashion show.
Oh,
In October,
great.
for the MSAA. And I'm so excited. One of the board members, Ann Bishop, is here locally, and the two of us will be working on it together.
Oh,
So
I love that. So
excited.
now the fashion show, will that be with disabled, right?
So we're planning it out now, and we will let you know. But
Yes.
it will be
Okay.
people with all kinds of disabilities, mostly people living with MS.
Okay.
So we will have more information. Stay tuned on the MSAA website.
For sure.
And it will be posted on our Twins Coast to Coast website, and we'll be doing all kinds of things. I'll have it posted on my LinkedIn at
Yeah.
Terry Ward, and we'll give them all the information. But stay tuned, because there's a lot of
Yes.
opportunity for like leadership, for education.
I love that.
Fundraising. And we'll be having Tamara on the West Coast with all her wonderful West Coast event with
Yes.
raising funds. It's been so much fun for her to do dinners and with friends and anybody who wants to do a AXR winery. We can tell you all about
Oh,
that.
yes.
Anywhere in the country.
Okay.
Have more than 30 people. We will do
Uh-huh.
a dinner, and what was it, 10% of the sales of the wine event will go towards Twins Coast to Coast, and then it will go to our two selected
Our two
foundations.
selected foundations, MSC.
That's wonderful.
Outlaws.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Another thing that we're planning for year 2023, we're planning our podcast and our schedules. We
Yes.
have a couple of wonderful people coming on at the beginning of the year.
Uh-huh.
One, Dr. Mark Haber, he is a
Wonderful.
and you say, why are we interviewing a urologist?
Uh-huh.
And we're interviewing a urologist because people with multiple sclerosis often have bladder issues, and unbeknownst to them, they may not see the doctor. He will be the first one to say, you're very young, you're in your
Right.
20s or 30s. This is not a normal thing that is occurring at this age. I recommend some, follow up and more visits with other doctors. So
Right.
it's very
He
interesting.
is exciting. And
That's so
wonderful.
good, because there are so many questions about that. And, we joked when we did a podcast a little bit ago with some of the MSers that you don't really have MS unless you pee your pants. That's gotta happen. So, but I think I love that you're doing that because it is so important for people to know that there are just as many. I remember doing the podcast with one of the doctors talking about that. And I was very shocked to hear that there are just as many men that they have as women. And I was like, wow, we don't think about that as often. We think about our UTIs, our bladder infections, our things going on, but I don't think about that as much with the man. And I'm so glad that I had that opportunity to really be educated as to what our MSers go through, our male MSers. So, and how it's difficult on them as well.
Kathy, that's so true. And I would say to anybody out there listening to your podcast today, please send us questions to Twins Coast to Coast if you have questions about urologic conditions, and we can ask Dr. Haber.
For sure. Absolutely. And I'll have this on the bottom of the show notes too, so that they can get a hold of you guys, of course. So now we've got some really great plans that you guys have got for this next year. So is there anything, tell me in our last couple minutes, one of your favorite podcasts as far as just somebody that really gripped you? I can think of doing a couple that I could barely keep my eyes from just watering and tearing, and then some that were just amazing. So tell me some of the things give me 2 examples.
So
I just want to mention all of the people that we interviewed for a podcast were amazing and delightful, and we enjoyed every one of them.
Yes.
For me personally, it was Montel Williams and Tyler Campbell.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That we did. That touched my heart the most.
Yeah.
You couldn't keep a dry eye during that.
Oh, I was like, oh my goodness, I know.
Just to have Tyler Campbell.
Yes.
It's the joy, and to see him cry, to see myself cry. We cried. It just was that moment of truth.
Yes.
And it was beautiful. So I would say from an emotional standpoint and touching standpoint, that was our favorite. And of course, loved you being on the show.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys too, but you don't have to say that. You can go on.
No,
to other people.
Another one that really was fascinating was Mandara Cromwell. With her sound therapy. I just find, and they're finding research all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Therapy. I'll have to find an article recently that was related to sound and multiple sclerosis.
I would love that.
I think sometimes we need to think outside the box.
It's
not really the traditional medicine. And I truly believe she's done so much research, and she worked with a wonderful doctor overseas who is no living, but sound therapy.
Interesting. I'm going to have to get to know this because I don't know that much about this. So this will be new for me. So you guys have so much coming up, so much to look forward to. And I love that you give multiple sclerosis a very different look, because so many, and I've said this to you guys before, so many of our MSers who get into the wheelchair, who are just very isolated and alone. I think it is so interesting and so lovely when they're able to see the two of you, and there's mobility issues. There's so many things that you could really get very negative, right? Yeah. We could really sit in this pessimistic place and think, woe is me, how did this happen? But the fact that you take what you have and you use it for such positive things, such helpful things, and a way to reach so many. Now with the podcast and your faces, the posts and the reels and the fun things that you do, whether it's tips and whether you're teaching or whether you're just showing something beautiful that you both are doing with the dogs and with each other, I think gives so many smiles and such a different look to what MS is, because of the two of you do it with such a joyful attitude and with such elegance that it makes the disease not as scary. And I love that you both do that.
Thank you.
That is such a lovely compliment. And we are, for your viewers, we are here for you. Kathy's here for you. We are
Absolutely.
here. This is why we do what we do. And
Yes.
those were beautiful words. Thank you, Kathy.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, every bit of it. It's just if people don't know you, they need to, because you just offer so much and such a happy, warm, loving feeling. And I hope that everyone gets to see that. And if you have not had a chance to listen to Tamara and Terry's Twins Coast to Coast podcast, listen, because it is just joyful. They are tremendous at what they do, and they just have hearts of gold. So, and the other thing that you guys have popped onto our support group, and what a joy that is when you guys are able. And we've got ours tonight, and you guys offer so much advice and so much joy when you're on. We love to see your faces. So.
Well, we may have to pop on just for a brief moment tonight. We
So
have
I
more
love that.
over.
But your support groups are amazing and so important. And
Thank you.
you feel like it's family and people can ask questions and feel
Yes.
very comfortable with you asking those questions.
That's right. And anybody, we will make sure that we let our friends know that you're there on the Wednesdays once a
Oh,
month.
thank you.
Right, Kathy, it's once a month on the second
The
Wednesday?
third, we're doing it early because of the holidays, but normally it's the third Wednesday of every month is when we do it. So, and it's worked very well. It's been exciting to have our newly diagnosed, but yet those of us who've been diagnosed for a long time, and just really supporting, having fun. Sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's just a lot of giggling. And it's just a really great time for women who have MS to just really get together and talk about our own issues that we have. So it's been great. We would love to have you pop in tonight.
Yes.
But we just want to say, I just want to tell you both, Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful holiday. I can't wait to talk to you guys more and be a part of what you guys are doing this next year. And it is so good to see you, Terry, healthy and stronger, and no more shingles and no more stuff.
We are done with that. And again, our QR code is up there. Maybe that's easier than
Yes,
type in our website. That'll take you right to our website.
yes,
Merry Christmas and
you.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Thank you for having
Becca,
us.
love you guys both so
Mwah,
much.
love you.
So if you are ready, make sure that you check into this, and it'll be probably in January, and you'll be able to see this air. And so really hope that you guys all enjoy this holiday special with Terry and Tamara, Twins Coast to Coast. So I'll have the rest of it on the bottom of the show notes. So have a great day. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Please make sure that you rate the MS Disrupted podcast, and make sure that you sign up and that you give me some feedback of what you'd like to hear on our next podcast coming up. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy from all of us. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we can't wait to see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.